I still don't understand why it takes like a full 5 seconds for it to start recording when I press the record button. Anyways, I'm re-recording this footage because the audio didn't work last time. How great. But I'd like to dedicate this video to 2 people, Gear Grind and Ziku. Gear Grind was the person who suggested that I play Bloodlust around a year ago, around August of 2024, roughly. And she was very supportive of me at the beginning of my journey on Bloodlust, before I dropped it. And I'd like to give my second shout out to Ziku, as he was the person who was the most supportive of me when I picked up this level again. So without Ziku and Gear Grind, I would not have been able to push through and complete this level. So that's why I'd like to give a shout out to those 2, my biggest glazers, specifically my biggest Bloodlust glazers. With that said, I hope you guys enjoy the fail compilation and the completion. Peace out.
Why are you following me isn't funny on paper, but then you hear Mike Myers say, why are you following me? And it's just inexplicably hilarious. There's a reason so many seemingly mundane lines of dialogue from this movie have been immortalized in meme history. Rather famously, Chris Farley was initially cast as Shrek, but
holy shit! I died to the wave. That's such a strange place to die. I don't think I die here ever when practicing. I don't really care. That's just TMN attempt.
shit! Ah, that's lame.
Sorry, I haven't hit my desk over this level before. This is the first time.
Me with Sonic Way be like.
I just can't believe it. I never thought that the day would come where I would... How many buttons did I just fucking press?
Oh wow, that was free.
I didn't... Okay.
Oh my god! No.
I've died at this gap from from every... I'm pretty sure
that was it, bro.
I've died at this gap from every start position, by the way. This is probably the least surprising death I've gone on this part specifically, because
I genuinely thought that was it, bro.
Just look
I genuinely thought that was it.
Look how genuinely stupid the way this specific click is structured.
You catch it.
Do it this way. However, they could still provide valuable insight that they've gained from running a similar operation to theirs.
Like Rhett and Link's people are like giving advice and trying to help us, like, hey, this is some ideas and like be better, but like you don't have to do this if you don't want. Like it's like a very collaborative thing, like when that does happen, but for the most part it's been like us. Like there's no like creative director that's telling us like you need to make a science show or a nature show.
Yeah. For example, one of the first moves by the new Smosh was emphasizing podcasts on a separate channel, as it's a great way to boost revenue in exchange for doing fairly little work. And all of the lessons that Rhett and Link learned from their own podcast Ear Biscuits, they were readily available to Smosh. And spoilers, by 2024, Smosh would produce the 9th biggest podcast in the US, Smosh Reads Reddit Stories. But I know what you might be thinking. Great history lesson, but so what? I mean, the next major event is Anthony returning to Smosh, yet I had claimed that getting screwed by Defy, expanding their cast in spite of the backlash, and Anthony leaving the company were all essential to Smosh reaching new highs. What's crazier, I said that without those 3 events almost ending Smosh, the brand would have likely died years ago. How the hell can that be right? Well, let's start with the cast. See, from Anthony leaving in 2017 to him and Ian buying Smosh in 2023, there were 5 people that were incredibly important to keeping Smosh alive. The first 2, of course, were Rhett and Link, who helped to provide the funding to keep things going and were completely supportive of parting ways with Smosh at the right time.
I took a meeting with the 2 of them and I said, Anthony wants to come back, but he's not going to do it unless we own it. Link specifically was like, I don't even like want to talk about the business part of it. I just want to talk about like how exciting this is. And they were both like very supportive. Like they're like, look, we'll figure out the business side of it. We'll figure that out. But that's not the most important thing. Like, how do we make this happen?
Because crucially, Rhett and Link had no issue from day one putting ego aside and recognizing that ultimately, the best case scenario for Smosh is getting Anthony involved once more.
Right after like our first conversation with Ian, we were like, What can we do to get Anthony to come back?
Really? You guys are talking about that from the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
We just always had this sort of instinctive pull for you guys to be together. We're very sympathetic to internet comedy duos.
Yeah.
And the idea of you guys being together and creating was just something that we always believed in, but we weren't going to push it. We would ask questions about it, but we weren't going to push it.
Like, when you consider that Anthony's one condition for returning was that he had to own Smosh again, and Rhett and Link had provided invaluable insight that Smosh would now be able to use as competition, all it would have taken is a spark of ego for the entire thing to implode. Now, the third key
Okay, I just realized the fucking other light isn't enough. We're going with the overhead. The other light's never enough. Anyways. Oh. That was random. Today was kind of... my first session today was terrible. And I died at 72% 3 times before giving up an hour in because I literally couldn't, like, handle playing the level today. And my wrist hurt. I thought I was going to take a break, but later today I decided I might as well give another crack today because the second session of the day, if I have a second session, it's almost always better. Unless my first session was, like, amazing like it was a couple days ago. But that's besides the point. That's not how it usually goes. Usually the second session is really good, so... I decided, why not? Wow. That didn't take that long. I died at 72 and 85. My 85 death, wow, I raged a lot. I don't think that was my most recent death. If it was, then that's going to be an embarrassing thing to include, but I don't think it was, so I don't think I have to worry about that. But after my third extension attempt today, I did it. I didn't die at 98, sorry, I didn't die at 98, I didn't die at 99, I didn't die at 97. It's just, I just did it. I think, okay, I'll remath this later, but I'm pretty sure I had 75 extension attempts. And I had 4 attempts to TMN, 3 of which were failures, 4 of which were the 4th one, this one. I beat it. Wow. I don't react to things. I'm sorry. To anyone who's disappointed that I didn't have a big reaction to this, I'm sorry. This is my normal style. I don't have big reactions to things anymore. I did once upon a time. That was so long. That was before I stopped having big reactions before I even started playing extremes. But even during like my first couple extremes, I had somewhat reactions. I don't have big reactions anymore, but that doesn't mean I'm not happy. It just means that I'm not gonna yell or like, I'm not gonna super celebrate over it. But wow, I have 2 friends that beat Bloodlust. Wait, no. Isn't Blur? I could have sworn you'd beat Bloodlust. Oh wait, okay, some people, I just remembered, some of these people don't claim their leaderboard positions. These 2 have definitely beaten. I know Lil Mill has it. Blur is like 90% sure he beat Bloodlust. Wait, no, I'm 100% he definitely beat Bloodlust. Anyways, I don't remember who these 2 people are. I didn't know they beat Bloodlust. Wow. Conservative on the demon completions much. Then again, I have less demons than Waffles, and my hardest demon is Bloodlust, so... this is a good level. I suffered on it a little today, but that's only because today was just a bad session for the most part. Mediocre playing. Well, except for when I beat it, but I guess that's besides the fucking point. Oh, that's just random bullshit. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I need to do some math real quick. 9,574 plus... let's see. I definitely have more attempts than... Well, not definitely. Hold on. I thought for sure I'd have more attempts than Sync, but that looks pretty close. 21,921 equals... Oh my god, it's less! 31,495 attempts on Bloodlust. That's like 1,000 less than Sync. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. Of course, levels like Bloodlust, Sync, Yada, I had old attempts on all of them. So, yeah, but old attempts do not make... Or, I still count. I always count them, but they don't necessarily make it easier or harder. Bloodlust is for sure harder than Sync. It's 100 spots above for a reason. There's no shot that Sync can compete with Bloodlust in difficulty, but I still took less at times. Wow. Let me do what I always do and write it down. I don't know why I do this, I just do. 31,495 at times. Wow. I can't believe this. Well, I can believe this because I just did it, but... Wow. Fuck, Ziku didn't get to be here for it. He wanted to be here so bad, and I feel like I just let him down, but... I can't... I'm so bad at asking people to call. I always think to ask people to call, and I never do. That's my fault. Oh well. This'll be the final hardest I do for a while. Obviously not forever. You know. Every time someone says that's my hardest forever, they're always wrong. Probably. There's probably some people who weren't wrong, but... most people are always wrong when they say that. So I'm not going to say this is my final hardest, because I don't plan for it to be my final hardest. But I do plan to take a break from GD after this to beat Danganronpa V3, but also to get a job. I know. I have to get a job. Wow. It's early enough to where I could go tell my dad that I beat Bloodlust. He's not gonna give a shit. He's not gonna give a shit. He doesn't know what this fucking level is, but I did explain to him why this was an important completion to me, so he'll understand that I did something cool here. Alright. Is there anything else for me to note? No, I'm waffling. I am yapping, so I will end my yapping here. I'll include my TMN deaths because I saved all of them, although I'm gonna have to fish through all the fucking footage, but whatever. That'll be it. This is Bloodlust. Peace.